Consolidated. Hope you guys are doing all right. It is Friday, so starting next week we will have spring break. So I won't be posting any videos next week. I'll still try to post some of our drawing ideas that I've been doing just to keep you guys busy if you need something to do. But I probably won't do the videos next week. So when we get back from spring break, then I'll start doing our artist of the day videos again. Just realized you guys probably haven't seen me with my hair down before, so it's a little different for everybody, I'm sure. So this is what Mr. Calvert looks like when he's not all fancied up for school. You guys have probably heard already that we have the matrix that we're supposed to be working on while we are away. I believe you're supposed to complete 3 things each day off of the matrix. There should be an art option on that matrix too, so please make sure that you are completing those. You're welcome to send in the pictures to me if you want me to check them out. I would love to see them. Other than the matrix, as you guys know, I've been trying to post out some things throughout the day for you to work on. So I've been trying to get a drawing prompt out for you. Remember that you're welcome to post that so I can check them out and give you a little bit of feedback on your drawing. I'm also doing the Arts of the Day videos like this that I try to post about at around 11:30 each day. That's my goal. And just any other videos I think you guys might like. So if you are bored or want something to do on top of your matrix, be sure to check out the Facebook page and keep up to date. Now, our artist today, her name is Amy Sherald. She is an artist that you will probably recognize, or I'm hoping that you'll recognize her work as we get towards the end. Amy is 46 years old and she is originally from Georgia, but now she lives in Baltimore, Maryland, where she does most of her work. I recently had the chance to actually hear Amy talk about her work. I believe it was a year or two ago when I was out at my national conference that I go to each year. So I actually had the chance to listen to Amy talk about her work for an hour and a half, which is really cool. Um, you'll notice that a lot of the artists that I've been talking about lately are some of my personal favorite artists. The reason I really dig these Artists of the Day videos is because I don't always get the chance to teach about all these artists that I like, just because I don't know how to work them into a project. So I'm really enjoying these Artists of the Day videos because I can introduce you to some artists really quickly that I personally enjoy, but just haven't had the chance to teach you guys about. And Amy Sherald is one of my personal favorites as well. Now, Amy, she is really well known for making her people in her paintings, she turns their skin gray. Now you'll notice throughout all of her paintings, she makes them, or she is painting pictures of black people. This is because Amy is an African American woman who has black skin, obviously, if she's African American. So she wants to make paintings of people that look like her and kind of bring attention to them and the issues that they deal with. Now, you'll notice that their skins are very different. It's not the typical skin that we would see on somebody who's black. She's actually turned their skin so that it's gray. We call that monochromatic, which means that she's taking one color, doing different tints and shades of it. So the skins are very gray, and the skin is very detailed throughout all of them. You can see the highlights and shadows, or the areas where the sun is hitting on the person, and then the areas where there are shadows. So the skin is really, really detailed looking. But then when we look at the clothing, oftentimes her clothing is very flattened out. She doesn't do as much highlights and shadows on that, which I find very interesting. There's a lot of contrast between those, that highly detailed skin versus like this cowboy shirt. It's almost very flattened out. We don't really see any highlights or shadows on the stripes of his shirt. Oftentimes too, she'll give them like an item that kind of catches your attention. Like this woman up here, she's got this large teacup as well as this kind of bright headband. We have this woman here with these really bright white gloves, and she's got the crown as well as some pearls. And then we have the cowboy down here with the cowboy hat and the belt buckle. So a lot of times she'll have an item that kind of catches you. I find Amy Sherald really uplifting because throughout her life, she always had this nightmare that she was going to die, which sounds really scary. And her dream was that she would die after running a race. Well, as she grew up, she began to train for a triathlon, which is a race where you bike, you swim, and you run. And before actually entering the race, after she'd been training for a while, she decided to go in for a checkup from the doctor. And she found out from the doctor that she had an issue with her heart and her heart was barely functioning. And if she had run this race, that there was a good chance she could have actually died. So it was kind of like her dream actually came true, which is really crazy. Because she had all this heart issues, she actually had to have a heart transplant. and she was in the hospital for a really long time and actually had to give up painting for 3 years. So I find it really inspiring that she gave up painting pretty late in her life for 3 years, and then to be able to come back and still be able to really make a name for herself after all these issues that she had. Um, so Amy, she's really kind of been in the news a lot lately for a painting that you should all recognize because it is hanging up in my classroom. This painting of Michelle Obama, who was the first lady. And a first lady, that just means that she is the president's wife. So she's Barack Obama's wife. Um, each time a president and the first lady are done being in office, they get to choose an artist to make a painting of them. And Kehinde Wiley was chosen to paint the portrait of Barack Obama. We have that one hanging up in our classroom too. But Michelle, she chose to have Amy Sherald paint a painting of her. So Kehinde Wiley and Amy Sherald, both being black artists, were chosen by the first black presidents too. So I enjoy that they kind of took that into consideration when they chose their artist. Now, Amy Sherald, she being chosen as a black artist, she is actually the first African American woman to have had the opportunity to paint a picture of the First Lady. So that's like a really huge accomplishment for her. I just love to see how detailed Michelle is, especially here in her hair and along her hands. And then this really beautiful dress that we see some patterning. It looks like the bottom part of this dress has been cut off. There are some like primary colored squares at the bottom. It's almost like quilt like. But I really enjoy this, and hopefully you guys recognize this from our classroom. All right, that has been our brief artist of the day. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Make sure you're getting your matrix done, keeping you guys yourselves busy, and being safe. All right, I'll see you guys after spring break. Bye.